Hello and welcome to the next lesson. In this lesson, we're going to create a free ChatGPT account and then we'll go over the layout of the app. So starting off, to get access to the app, you can go to openai.com or you can Google OpenAI. Both will get you to their website. And then when you go to the upper right hand corner and click sign up, we're going to use this Wikipedia tutorial basically because ChatGPT you have to create a phone number and I only have one phone number per account. So basically you're going to get this screen that says, hey, welcome. You'll click sign up. You'll enter your email. You'll enter a password that has at least 8 characters. Then you'll go to your email. You'll verify it. You'll enter your name. And then this is where I think they also, yeah. Then next you verify your phone number. They'll send you a code. You enter it back. I only have one phone number. That's why I'm not demonstrating this, or else I would. But why would I have multiple phone numbers? Then you enter the code once they send you a text. And then you get access to ChatGPT. I'm logged into my account, so we use my account for this going forward. So then now let's talk about the layout of ChatGPT when you log in. There's like 2 pop-ups that come up. Just click next when you get them. They mean nothing. So starting off on the left-hand side, you have your conversation history. This is a history of all the different chats that you've had with ChatGPT. On the bottom is settings, where you can click the 3 little dots to get to settings here. We'll come back to that one. The main center part is the chat, where basically you are now talking with ChatGPT. We'll do hello world. And then ChatGPT talks back. So you have your conversation in your chat and then ChatGPT's response. And so it will follow this pattern as a chat dialogue. And then this conversation is saved on the right-hand side under Hello World. So you can always come back to this conversation to pick up where you left off, because ChatGPT will remember the context of the conversation so that you could continue to build and work with it as like a partnership. So the next is looking at settings. So in the bottom left-hand corner, you have the 3 little dots. Here, you can go to My Plan, where you can upgrade your plan. I'm on the free paid one for the $20 just because ChatGPT 4 really, but you could do everything that we're going to be doing in the free plan. Then we could go down to settings. You can also clear conversations here. So I'm going to go settings. Here you could change the theme to match. You could clear all your chats from here. There are some extra features that we won't be going in this course, but they are available. You have the browse with Bing little toggle that will enable that feature. You have the plugins feature. We will go over all the plugins in an advanced course, but you can enable it here. And then you can see the next one, data controls. You can see you can export your data, delete your account, enable 2-factor authentication, or save the chat history and training, or basically save new chats, basically. So the main things really here is just when you get to the advanced is upgrading the plugins. Down here is the chat dialog where you can enter all your, I would say, information, and you could enter, I want to say like paragraphs. You could enter paragraphs of text, like lots of stuff. Let me find a article. Let's say we'll do lorem ipsum. So we're going to take this whole thing, yeah, say that for example. So you could paste large text and then you can scroll. So we just pasted a large text. So this is all, you're going to feed ChatGPT all the information in this little prompt right here. This is your prompt box. And then you could put in information, put the questions, everything in here. And then we can continue to use it. But yeah, this is where you'll be interacting with ChatGPT. And then if we're like, hey, redo that response, you could click this again. If you don't like the response, click this, and it will regenerate another response. And then you can see here conversations. You can click this and it will go back to the previous one. They're technically the same. Let's do another one. Sure. Then you could say regenerate response. And it gives it the same thing, but you could go back to kind of this. Let's do this as a better example. Let's do I love my pizza. So here, it's going to give an answer. But say you're like, nah, I don't like that. Regenerate. And then it's going to regenerate a whole new one. So now you could go back to, there's the first one. You can see how it starts off with pizza passport, a pizza party pack. But then you could go back to the next one and you can see the second version. So these are two different versions of responses or answers. And that's how you can say regenerate response and then go through the different conversation or different versions that it spits out. And then if you like them, you could give it some feedback and say, yeah, you can say no. You can copy it. So if I click this little copy icon right here, yep. So if I copy that and I open a new tab, let's just go to like a Google Doc, and then I'll paste the text there. So now you can see, yep, there's that whole text. So that's a quick way let's actually talk about that. Different ways that you could copy paste text out of here. So one is the button. So boom, takes all the text, and then you can paste it. You can right click, paste, boom. Or you could do this. Back in the day, you had to highlight before these features. That's crazy now, these new features. So basically, you can highlight. I like going right where the mouse cursor turns into a little line. And then I'll click and hold the left mouse button and drag. I'll use my mouse wheel to go down a little. And then now I'll let go of my left mouse click. I'll right click on it and I could click copy. And then I could go to like a Google Doc, delete this, and then I could right click and click paste. Now, oh, that's interesting. See how it does the formatting? So if it does that, we're going to undo. You could do edit, then you could do undo. Here's how to get around that. You can right click and choose the next option. Paste without formatting. That's going to paste and give you the text. But now that they have this new feature, you could just click this now. They're always adding new features. And if I right click and paste, it'll paste it without the formatting. So that's copying. That's awesome. Then let's talk about adding extra like indent, like new lines, like line 1, and then line 2, and then line 3. How to do that? So to do that, you would write one line and then hold the shift button and then press enter. It will indent a new line. So I'm going to type something and then I'm going to hold shift and press enter. And see how it doesn't like submit the query or submit the response or the prompt. It just kind of gives me more lines I could do. And why would you want to do that? So you could do something like this. I could say about topic. I could put topic in brackets. We'll go over this later in the course. Semicolon. And then I could put here. Well, I've seen it done different ways, but you could do topic. I like this one too. Dash, dash, dash. That way it knows it's. And then the topic. Give me a topic about this. I don't know. I'm just picking something random. Sure. And then we'll just say, give me some text. Yeah, about this. There you go. So write me an essay about a topic, and then you get indent new line, and then you can paste that information right here. So this is how we're kind of like giving it context. So we're just giving it. So we're giving it we're giving it a command, what we want it to do, and then we'll give it context, a topic. So then if you can find it here, the 3 little dots are like coding kind of wise. It's like you'll never see those 3 things in like a sentence or natural conversation like in text, so that the computer knows, oh, this must mean something completely separate we're talking about. So that's why you want to do indent new line, and then you could do it again. You could do style Neo from the Matrix in this style. So now I could do 2 variables. So we did shift enter, enter. That gives us more space. And then we can do variables. And now we have a whole prompt right here. So let's actually submit this. So I'm just going to press enter, or you could press this little arrow down here. That will submit it. And it says, okay, cool. I'm going to write you an essay about Porsche's electrifying leap into the future. Here's the introduction. Here's the topic. Here's that topic. Here's that topic. Here's that topic. And now we can have a conversation with it too. So now that it says that, you can work with it. You can iterate it. Yeah, you can say make shorter. And it will take that previous response, take your new command, and then feed it again. Now let's say I want to make this an email. My friend likes Porsche, so I want to send this in as an email. Create with 3 key lights in bullet points. So now we're going to take that information and craft an email that I could send to my friend and say, hey, exciting news. Here's the summary of what they need to know. Awesome. And then I'll just take this, copy, probably go to Gmail. So we're, again, sorry, I go a little too fast. I have to slow down. So I'm going to, now it's done. I'm going to take this prompt and I'm going to put it in an email, for example. So I'm going to click the little copy icon right there. I'm going to go to my email, or I don't want to open my email. I'll just put this text. I'm going to right click and click paste, or I could just go edit and click paste. And now I'll paste the text. And now I have an email that I could ready to draft, has the key highlights. I could put this email or anything like that. So that's the kind of workflow basically, as how what I just demonstrated of how we give it a prompt. It's actually a good idea. Give it a prompt, give it some context or some extra information, and then it feeds us an answer, and then we work with it. We iterate, say make shorter, or you can give it a second command now that it has this context. And then we could say, now make it an email. And you know what? We finally got to the very end of the task or the job. If the goal was to create an email about an interesting article for my friend that likes cars, then we accomplished the goal. And now we can copy the text, our final outcome, or even if it has, because it won't be exact too. This is the other thing. It's like Frankenstein. Take pieces that you like and then paste it in a document. And then let's say, for example, I don't like these 2 bullet points. This is the next part of working with it in your own dedicated notebook. We'll go deeper into notebooks in the next episode. But here, this is where the real power is. You're not going to be always in the app doing the conversations and trying to get a perfect response, like, oh, try and get, that's not what your goal is. Your goal is to try and get close enough and then copy paste elements that you like and then iterate it. So let's say I'm like, I like these 2, but I need 2 more bullet points. So now I'm going to take these 2 and I'm going to say, write me just 2 new bullet points. And I'm saying, just give me just 2 new bullet points. So it's like, cool. And you know what? Let's say I like that. Maybe I'm like, no, make them shorter. Easier to understand. So we're just talking to it like you're talking to an entry-level intern. That's the basic way. It's like an entry-level intern that has short-term memory. They're an expert, but they have short-term memory, and you got to explain it and give them context. And you're kind of chatting over the internet. That's the kind of way to think of it. So we're like, yeah, that looks good. I'm going to take this and I'll add it to my what's called, it's like the last mile in delivery. Whatever your final document is, whatever your final report, whatever your final project that you're creating with this, whether it be a blog article or something like that. This is where you're going to be doing your tweaking, and it's never going to be perfect. I want to stress that. Don't use ChatGPT and copy paste and ship it and be done. You still need to quality check to tweak it, to fine tune it, to make it make sense. It will never be perfect right out the gate. And so that's the concept of just iterating with it in a separate document so that you can now work within. You're like, cool, now this works out great. Now, let's say, yeah, I like that. That's actually pretty good. So we're seeing a notebook. We're seeing how to copy paste. We're seeing how to hold shift enter so we can enter large amounts of text or information. We see our layout. We can see a conversation chat right here. And just clear that. You can stop it. See the stop generating? You can click this. Say sometimes you're like, you start something, you're like, write me a, and you're like, oh, I accidentally pressed. You could click stop and it will stop generating the response. That's something there. That only shows up when you start a conversation. And then if you want to, you'll have the history of the conversation here. You can name it. Say I want to name this test script, for example. Great. And then in the upper right hand corner, you can also share this with other people, or you could trash it. So that's like a little notebook, or just for this one conversation. But then if you're ready to start a new one, you could click new chat and it will start a new fresh conversation. And if you have plus, you can also get access to the version 4. So that's really the only difference between the paid versions. You get access to version 4. That's basically it. But that is the layout of how to use ChatGPT, how to do conversations, how to copy text, how to look at different previous conversations in your history, how to copy paste text, and also to not format in your own document or your digital journal of choice. We'll go through different ones. But yeah, and then we went through how to create a short little prompt to where we can give it more information like context, where we hit, say for example, give it a command, shift enter, we can enter more information, use it. So it has all the information here. It's pretty smart as far as putting it together, as far as understanding, which is real crazy. But yeah, that's the basic introduction of how to use ChatGPT in conversations, and we'll go deeper in the next lessons. Thank you.